cancer affects not only the patient, but the whole family. Gabby was 11 years old when she started having trouble completing everyday tasks.
And it was really snowing very hard, and we went to the doctor, we got a CBC, and they said, okay, you'll have the results by Friday. And just trying to get out of the parking lot of the doctor's office took us like an hour. It was just snowing so much.
The lab technicians ended up stuck in the lab because of the snow, and they managed to do her test early, and they noticed she had what was your hemoglobin, 2?
It was 2.
It was 2.
Gabby received her first cancer diagnosis.
They thought that if we had waited till Friday, that I likely wouldn't have made it to that Friday and maybe not even through that night.
Before I knew it, she was being rushed into an ambulance. Mom was going with her, and they just went off to the hospital and left Dad and I behind. And I looked out the window a lot that day, and I remember the one tree back there was just covered in ice, and it was just so pretty, and Gabby wasn't there to share it with. And I think I remember that more than the actual diagnosis.
After her cancer diagnosis, Gabby was referred to a Valerie Fund Center close to her home, where she received individualized care from a team of social workers, child life specialists, educational liaisons, psychologists, and child life specialists. Valerie Fund Centers are found in 7 children's hospitals throughout New York, New Jersey, and Metro Philadelphia.
And when Gabby was first diagnosed, in those first days we spent in the hospital, we felt like we met 200 people that were on our side. And they were our closest warrior friends and on the front line.
This year was also a difficult one for Gabby and her family, when during the pandemic, she had a cancerous ovarian tumor removed.
There was a chance that I had a genetic mutation that would make me more predisposed to that type of tumor, as well as lung tumors.
And they did test her for the DICER1 genetic mutation, which took 7 weeks to get back due to COVID, and it was the 7 longest weeks, I think, of our lives. And it made Alexander's semester at school very difficult. He had a hard time moving forward, and he didn't want to worry us, so he didn't tell us what was going on, and he just kept telling us everything was fine. And it turns out he wasn't telling Gabby what was really going on in his world because he didn't want to worry her, and for him not to tell her something. Those two are, as you can tell, they act like twins.
She was diagnosed with leukemia in 2014. And that was going on 7 years ago now. From that first diagnosis, I was kind of waiting for the other boot to drop. And then finally this past fall, second cancer, here's the other boot. So it was a shock, but it was also kind of like I had been expecting it for all that time.
I don't feel guilty. I know that I couldn't help having cancer. It's not something I chose or that I could stop. But, it hurts knowing the effect that it has on others. Because, you don't want to hurt the people that you love. I am now lucky twice that I have survived and that I'm doing well and I have gotten through it. And I know that there are hundreds and thousands of kids who didn't get those chances, who didn't get to live their lives beyond childhood. And so I personally feel this sense of duty. I have to do something with my life. I can't just let it pass by. I have to do something, and I have to live my life, and I have to do as much as I can with it, because otherwise it would just be disrespectful to all the others who didn't get this chance and this opportunity. It feels good to talk about it, and in almost a space like this where it's like you have to talk about it.
Yes, and being able to share our story is a way of thanking the Valerie Fund for everything they've done for us and continue to do, and everything they do for families like ours.